In 1999, evolutionary psychologist Boguslav Parwalowski and Robin Dunbar, thank you, conducted a study of ads in which they objectively assessed the market value for particular age and sex classes of individuals. Okay, here's the meat. Here's the salient part, okay? They did this by dividing the portion of male and female advertisers seeking individuals of a given age, the demand, by the proportion of male and female advertisers of that age, the supply. As expected, they discovered that for women, market value peaks in their late 20s, while for men, it peaks in their late 30s. Accordingly, ads posted by women and men in these age categories were those that received the most replies. They also found that women and men with high market value were more demanding and choosy, looking for more specific traits in a potential partner. Okay, so that's number one. That's from the book. Okay. Does that sound to you like this? Oh my goodness, that crazy guy, Rollo Tomassi, and his wacky sexual market value scale, his graph. Oh my goodness. Does that sound like right about where peak value coincides? Why, yes, it does. Yes, it does. There you go. Confirmation right there. Science confirms. So that's number one. Now I'm going to move on here. But if you want to check that out, it's called Games Primates Play. It's pretty good. Now this is the trending one here. Okay. So we have to look at this one. I'm pulling this data. Actually, let me just put this on screen because it's easier to do it. Where'd it go? And which one is that? Trends and frequencies. Here you go. This is a good one. Okay. This was a good one. I pulled this for today's show, particularly for today's show, because as I just showed you those sexless cohorts. Okay. Trends in frequency of sexual activity and numbers of sexual partners amongst adults age 18 to 44. This is that study, 2000 to 2018. Nobody ever really digs into the meat of this. So I'm going to dig into the meat of it, and we got to get to the results here. So let's look at the results, because this is the part that I wanted to get to. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here, but if you want this, you can find it at, well, I'll put this in the description so you guys can go look this up if you want. Okay. So the absolute increase in sexual activity was more pronounced among men ages 18 to 24. In this age group, the proportions of those reporting weekly or more sexual activity and those reporting one sexual partner decreased. Among the ages 25 to 34, sexual inactivity doubled from 7% to 14%. And weekly or more sexual activity decreased from 65% to 50.3%. In men aged 35 to 44, sexual inactivity was largely unchanged during the study the study period, whereas a sexual frequency of 1 to 3 times per month increased slightly, and weekly or more sexual activity increased from 61% to 49%. Okay, got that. Now, here's the part where I wanted to get to. Among women, the distribution of sexual activity in the total age range remained stable during the study period. Digest that for a moment, okay? When analyzed by age group, okay, that's the age group part. And then there was a trend towards an increase in the proportion of individuals reporting 3 or more partners. This is in the female side of things, which was driven by women aged 25 to 34 years old. So this is from that study. This is the part that they don't like. All these guys like, and these are guys that I like follow on Twitter. All the guys who like show you like, oh, here's the links. Go, you have a look at it. Have at it. They'll quote parts of it. They'll quote the parts that are like, young men aren't getting laid. Young men don't know how to socialize. Young men don't know how to take the girl to the dance. Bullshit. No, it's because this generation has had the least amount of sex and has the least interest in sex than any other generation that came before it. Certainly my generation, Gen X, right? So, but it's never been easier, or I should say this, it's never been like for women anyways, the incidence of having sex, whatever, has either stayed the same or it's gone up. For men, sexlessness has drastically gone up. That is not hookup culture. That right there should tell you something about when women fall, like this girl in the video, in the TikTok video, when she falls back on this stuff about, oh, you know, society this and culture that and social constructionism this and blah, 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 right? No, that's you being held accountable by your own actions. And you're upset about it, and probably understandably so. But it ain't hookup culture. And it ain't oh, poor guys. No, it's the guys you're selecting. It's the apex fallacy. Once again, it's the guys like men are pigs. Yeah, the ones at the top that you wanted to hook up with and that you thought you could turn from a booty call into the guy who's going to go home and meet your parents and kiss you in public and be official with you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And then you get it's funny that that's the romantic ideal right now. we're official on Facebook. Oh, did you dump or did you unfollow or ghost or delete all of your old boyfriends? No, but we're official on Instagram. I remember, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think there was like a trend or a hashtag or something where it's like women would not make guys official unless they put a ring on their finger or unless there was like some sort of real investment. And even then they weren't like deleting their old boyfriend. They were still using them as like Instagram boyfriends. So the advertising, the opportunism, the sexual opportunism for women doesn't stop. So if this girl who's complaining about hookup culture really feels bad and really wants to get with a good guy, then is she still on Instagram? Is she still on Tinder? Is she still using these things? Or is she trying to do it the old-fashioned way?